Ready? We are spilling the tea on Hormozi, Shelby Sapp, and all these big time business influencers. Get ready. Are you ready? All right, here we go. So I just want to say that I'm not perfect. I don't pretend to be, but this is a really important conversation. If you are an entrepreneur, if you are, you make content for your business, because let me just be clear. I make content for my business. I am not a content creator. All right. Let me just say that one more time. I make content for my business. I am not a content creator. I'm not an influencer, although I am influential. Yes, I know. I'm influential, but I never made any money doing brand deals. I don't have any backing from VC. I don't have any backing from Goldman Sachs. I don't have an agenda to destroy women, destroy men. I'll tell you what motivates me, okay? If you're new to my page, hey, I'm Ginger DeClue. I was born to a white dad and a black mom in Philadelphia, was raised in Society Hill Towers, grew up in Northeast Pennsylvania, north of Scranton, moved back down to the Philadelphia suburbs, and I went through my own health hell, okay? Health hell. All right. And I almost died. I had Gardasil. I had my appendix taken out. I had a root canal, all done in the span of 3 months. And I almost died. And that was in 2009. And since 2009, I went on a journey. I went on a freaking Lord of the Rings quest to heal my body. And in 2019, my mom died. Okay. So a little bit about me. I had a son. I was married at this time. And my mom died. I had moved to Los Angeles to pursue my dreams with my husband. We moved out to Los Angeles. And a few months after we moved to Los Angeles, my mother died of a stroke at just 55 years old. So you want to know what motivates me, drives me, got me to start this in the first place? That. Okay. So I had started an Instagram in 2016, and I'm pretty sure if you go, you could probably see I started this Instagram in June of 2016. And at that time, I actually wanted to do makeup videos. And I would just share, to be honest with you, I would just share everything. I would share my diet. I would share my waxing trips. I would share my makeup. I would share my, fasting, all the things. And my life went through a really huge transformation between 2016 and 2018. I made a mental choice in 2016 that I was going to change my life and it was going to be the best life ever. Okay. And I met my husband. I got married to my husband in early 2017. By 2018, I was doing QVC. I was on national TV. I made a full 180 on my life because I 100% committed to my health, to my wealth, to my hotness, to everything. I raised the freaking bar in my life, and I was sharing this on social media. I was sharing this on Instagram. I made a YouTube channel that everybody watched, but nobody supported. Okay. So I ended up getting a lot of commercials, a lot of movie spots, all this crazy stuff in Philly and in New York and in New Jersey. And I was sharing all my health stuff. And I was saying how to be picked, I had to go, and to be picked, I had to be the best me. So I ended up moving to Los Angeles with my husband because that's where all the deals were. That's, in my mind, the middle class actor, which is what I actually really wanted. The middle class actor was like a regular on Grey's Anatomy, a regular on Law and Order. Those series regulars, they make good money. It's not millions and millions of dollars, but that was like honestly my goal. And so I come to Los Angeles, I get an agent, I get a manager, everything's going my way. My mom dies. I had built an audience on Instagram just from my cool lifestyle. And this is before we had all that, before we had stuff. When my mom died, it was so traumatic. I started to share about this is my passion, health is wealth. This is why I do what I do. This is why I talk about what I talk about. And I started to get clients. First for free. Okay. People were like, can you just teach me how to get healthy? Then I started doing consults. Then the pandemic happens, and that's the birth of my business. The backing was God. The backing of this whole thing has been God and believing in myself, my husband believing in me, a real man who loves women, let me go on a little side note about Hormozi. People who hate women who have womb envy, people like Hormozi who have womb envy, what they do when they have womb envy, because men cannot create anything, and I saw a video on this, men can't create anything. So if they have womb envy, men who love women, they will nurture a woman, they will nurture a home, they will create life, they will create babies, they will make their woman the queen. Men who have womb envy will create patriarchy, create hell, create mess, and that's what we're seeing in this world today. And that's what I believe Hormozi represents. Womb envy. Womb envy. And that's what his minions represent, is womb envy. And Shelby Sapp, I don't know all the stuff going on with that, but that lifestyle also is very misleading to young women, because the reality of a business is it's work. And I just want to say something really quick. Being married is powerful. Okay? Having a husband, a support, is powerful. You don't need Birkins and Rolexes, and you're a man. You don't need to grind till your head spins off its head to create something. When a man who loves women comes together with a woman who loves men, and they come together for each other and for a family, miracles happen. And this could be a really long podcast, so I'm going to try to keep it short because I don't have all day to be in the studio. But what I see is happening here, and the tea with Hormozi and with Shelby and the people who are popping and viral every single day, honey, do not be confused. The algorithm is influenced by actual people who decide who is going to get seen and who's not. Okay? And if you're out here establishing yourself as a business owner, they are not the people who you should be modeling your entire lifestyle after. Okay? Because what they're modeling for is dystopian. And it's modeling against the family, against reproduction and creation. I am a fabulous girl. I love all the fabulous things, but there's nothing more fabulous than your family and having children and bringing life. And maybe you aren't capable of having children, and that's okay. But you should be bringing life into this world, not destruction and pain. Your business does not have to feel like struggle and hell. And I will try to condense the story of Hormozian. And honestly, he's a threat, and he's a Rockefeller. And here's why. As someone who's actually worked with the guy, actually invested with them, actually been to Vegas and invested in the acquisition.com, workshops. So number one, this all started where Rockefeller, all right, and he says it on his own videos that Rockefeller is his best mentor. Understand, and let me say plainly, John D. Rockefeller is the reason why everyone's sick. John D. Rockefeller is the reason why there's monopolies on everything. And believe it or not, this psychotic person who people worship on his feet and are too scared to stand up, he is literally doing the same exact tactics that Rockefeller did to put everyone out of business, and then come back around and quadruple the price for the same thing the person he just put out of business does. And that's what he stands for. And that's what he does. And that's what he's been doing with the behind him, the backing of Goldman Sachs, of these things that you guys hate. You guys say in one side of your mouth that you can't stand and you hate and you don't trust and you're against the patriarchy and blah, blah, blah. But you sit here and you idolize people who are backed by that, whose logo or acquisition.com is a literal Masonic logo. You say you hate Freemasons. You say that, oh, I can't believe I'm a goy slop. And the same breath, you worship this person. I am not exaggerating when I tell you right to your face that I've been on sales calls with entrepreneur kids who, instead of having a cross behind them or a picture of Jesus, they have books of Hormozi as an altar to that man. Tell me that that's not sick and disgusting. People are idolizing a person who doesn't even love family, who doesn't believe in God, and who has for the last 3 years been slowly undercutting the price because he has the backing to make it so you and I go out of business. Make no mistake, that man is not fighting for small businesses. He is not fighting for small businesses. Small business is the backbone of this country. Let me repeat, small business is actually the backbone of the family, because a small business is around a family. That's what a small business always has been. And when I came into this online space in 2019, and I was able to build my business around my family, to home birth my children around my family, to hire midwives, to have a small team, it was glorious. It was beautiful. And in 2023, this person named Alex Hormozi came on the scene, and he dominated the entire market. And as someone who is an investor in themselves, I invest in mentorship, I took notice. All of his videos became the golden standard. You think that was an accident? You think that happened because he just was the best at making videos? No, he was backed with billions of dollars, and we don't even know where that money comes from. I've tried to research who bought his company. And if I go back to the beginning of the story, that's what made me stand up. It was like, he said he sold his coaching business for $46.9 million. So here's me having kids. I'm like, well, how could I sell my business and make a big exit? That was the bait and switch. And then he's telling all of us to put all of our stuff out for free. Why he told us to do that was, meanwhile, while we're over here putting out everything for free, going broke, taking out loans to make better content, all the things, tell me I'm lying, everything's gone up, software's gone up. They're gonna come in here, swoop in, and then once all the small people who are creators on here are done, they're gonna swoop in and monopolize it just like Rockefeller. And you idolize this person. I say boycott him. I say boycott them. I say we no longer support that stuff because it's evil. And I would ask Layla and Alex Hormozi to come on this and do a live and come to LA, or I'll go to Vegas, and they can come and we can sit together and they can tell me exactly who backs them. Who is the reason? Who's behind them? Where's the money coming from? Who bought your company? Tell us the truth. Where's your company today? Does it even exist? Was it all a ploy? Because I'm seeing through the lies, and it's a lie. And it's a lie that they're telling these girls that you can just sell a course and it's so easy and it just costs no money and you can just ride in a pink Porsche, ride in a pink Pilates, don't get married, don't have kids. This is a depopulation scam, if I ever saw one. And it's to destroy the small business. Nothing about what Hormozi creates aligns to small business. Nothing about what it is aligns to having a God-centered family. Grinding is not how you succeed. So Alex, Layla, I want to hear it from you. Who gave you that money? Who's behind you? And is your plan to make it so that we all can't afford to be online? Are you trying to be part of the agenda to depopulate the earth so that none of these kids have children and none of these girls have kids? So I'll end it there. Your health is your wealth. Invest wisely. Discernment is earned. And we'll talk later.